During a game against the Warriors, cameras locked in on a tense moment between Lakers coach J.J. Redick and Luka Doncic. Luka looked irritated after getting subbed out. In the middle of a quick conversation, he pulled his arm away, and the two even missed an awkward high five. It was strange, uncomfortable, and everyone watching could feel it instantly. But what really went down between Luka Doncic and J.J. Redick? Let's break down the moment that nobody saw coming. There are some NBA moments that make you stop whatever you're doing. Moments where you drop your phone, lean closer to the screen and say, "Did that really just happen?" That's exactly what happened on the night of February 28th, 2026, inside Chase Center in San Francisco. What was supposed to be a smooth, feel-good win for the Los Angeles Lakers suddenly turned into one of the most talked about moments of the entire season. The Lakers were dominating the Golden State Warriors, and it wasn't even close. We're talking about a full blowout, a 129-101 win. Usually in games like that, the bench is full of smiles, high fives, and relaxed energy. Luka Doncic was putting on a show too, dropping 26 points, 8 assists, and 6 rebounds. He looked completely in control, like the game was moving at his pace. Everything seemed perfect for the Lakers, or at least that's what it looked like on the surface. But late in the fourth quarter, with the result already locked in, J.J. Redick decided to pull Doncic from the game. On paper, it was a routine substitution, something coaches do all the time. Nothing unusual, nothing dramatic, but the next few seconds quickly turned that normal moment into something nobody expected. As Luka walked toward the bench, Redick stepped over and grabbed his arm, seemingly trying to talk through a play or maybe point out something about his defensive effort. Luka's reaction was immediate. He pulled his arm away and kept walking. No pause, no turning back. He just brushed past his coach like he didn't want to hear another word. Now that alone would have caught attention. A superstar brushing off his head coach on national TV? That's already headline material. But it didn't stop there. Not even close. Redick followed Luka toward the bench, and that's when things heated up even more. The two exchanged a few quick words, and their body language said everything. Their gestures were sharp, their faces serious, and it was clear this wasn't some calm strategy discussion. This was tension, real tension, right in front of everyone watching. Redick appeared to deliver one final comment before turning and walking toward the scorer's table. And right at that moment, Luka Doncic suddenly jumped up from the bench. The 6'7" superstar looked fired up, like someone who felt completely disrespected in front of a packed arena and a national audience.
I'll beat your... That's what Luka said to JJ. Luka was seemingly so angry.
Think about that for a second. Moments like that almost never happen between a player and his own head coach during a game. According to several reports, Luka wasn't just sitting quietly after that exchange.
He got up off of the bench and was going to walk down and confront JJ.
He stood up with clear emotion, ready to walk down the bench and confront Redick face to face.
And so now JJ Redick said what he had to say and tried to walk away, and Luka was like, "Nah, bro, you ain't about to turn your back on me." And
he wasn't whispering under his breath or letting the moment pass. Luka got up like he had something to say, like he wasn't about to let the situation slide. From his perspective, it looked like he was thinking, "You're not about to talk to me like that and just walk away." And just like that, a comfortable Lakers win turned into one of the most shocking sideline moments fans had seen all season. That kind of reaction isn't from someone who's just a little irritated. That's the reaction of someone who feels seriously disrespected, deep down, right in the moment.
Luka said, "Man, I'll beat your," and stood up to go and do it.
And the only reason things didn't explode into something way worse comes down to one man, Vanderbilt.
And Vando said, "Come on, man, cool out, bro. It ain't about nothing."
Vanderbilt jumped up instantly. He clapped loudly, stepped forward, and placed himself right between Luka Doncic and J.J. Redick. It was a quick move, but it changed everything. In seconds, he slowed the situation down and stopped it from boiling over. Fans and analysts later called it a pure veteran awareness play. The kind of move you see from someone who understands the temperature of the moment and knows exactly when to step in. Because think about it. If Vanderbilt stays seated, if he doesn't get between those two, who knows what that scene could have turned into on live television.
Player doesn't stand up off of the bench and threaten their coach.
And that's the part many people are missing. This wasn't just two competitors getting emotional. This wasn't normal sideline frustration or simple adrenaline. A player nearly confronting his coach during a game they were winning by almost 30 points. That kind of tension doesn't come from one bad possession.
They probably are bros and friendly.
Something deeper was bubbling under the surface. Something that had clearly been building for a while. And if you really want to understand what caused that moment, you have to go all the way back to the beginning. Back to the moment Luka Doncic first became a Los Angeles Laker. To understand how things reached the point where Luka was ready to confront his own head coach on the sideline, you have to rewind the story. You have to go back to the night that flipped his entire career upside down. Because the truth is, Luka never asked for any of this. He never pushed his way out of Dallas. He never tried to force a trade. There were no secret plans to land in Los Angeles. What happened to him was completely out of his hands, and by many accounts, it hit him hard emotionally. On February 2nd, 2025, the Dallas Mavericks traded the reigning NBA scoring champion to the Los Angeles Lakers in a massive three-team deal that also involved the Utah Jazz. In return, Dallas received Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a 2029 first-round pick. The move instantly sent shockwaves across the entire league. Reporters called it one of the most shocking trades the NBA had ever seen. Front office executives reacted with disbelief. Players around the league were stunned. Even superstar quarterback Patrick Mahomes jumped online and posted, "Wait, what?" That's how unexpected the deal was. And Luka? Reports said the moment hit him emotionally. His father publicly said the decision felt unfair, and Doncic later admitted in interviews, "They made a decision. I don't know why." Imagine that for a second. A player who gave everything to one franchise suddenly moved without warning. 5 straight All-NBA first-team selections, a trip to the NBA Finals, historic triple-double numbers, massive scoring nights that filled highlight reels. Yet despite all of that, the Mavericks still made the call to move on. Mavericks general manager Nico Harrison reportedly pushed the deal forward, pointing to concerns about conditioning, including reports that Luka's weight sometimes climbed near 270 pounds. There were also disagreements about medical staff preferences and long-term commitments. At the same time, the team hesitated on a looming 5-year, $345 million Supermax extension. In the end, it was a cold, calculated business decision, and Luka Doncic was the one who had to deal with the fallout. But here's what makes the story even more powerful. Through all that frustration, all that disappointment, Luka still arrived in Los Angeles with a smile and something to prove.
The moment I step on court, I told to myself, this is what I do. This is what I enjoy most doing. So I'm just excited to be here to start this new journey.
That's not the mindset of someone who's defeated. That's the mindset of someone who took the pain, locked it in, and turned it into motivation. Luka came to Los Angeles with one mission and one mission only: win.
This for me is a fresh start. I get to play in LA. I get to play in the greatest club in the world.
And at the beginning, there were plenty of reasons to believe the partnership between Luka Doncic and JJ Redick was going to be something special. These two didn't just meet recently. They actually had real history together, and it was good history. Back during the 2020 to 2021 NBA season, Redick was traded to the Dallas Mavericks for the final stretch of his playing career. He only played 13 games alongside Luka, but something clicked almost immediately. Even though Redick was near the end of his career physically, the connection between the two players was clear from the start. Redick openly praised Luka, calling him special both on the court and inside the locker room. He even compared Luka's humility to stars like Stephen Curry, pointing out how rare it was to see someone that talented stay so grounded. And Luka showed that respect right back. The Slovenian superstar rarely does interviews or long media appearances, but he made an exception for Redick. Luka appeared on Redick's podcast, The Old Man and the Three, not once, but twice. Later, Luka even said it himself, "You don't see me going on podcasts. I went on his podcast twice, so you know how much respect I have for him." So when Redick became the Lakers head coach in 2024 and Luka was traded to Los Angeles not long after, it almost felt like destiny. Two people who already trusted each other. Two people who already had chemistry. Two basketball minds who understood how the other one thinks. During training camp, the vibe around the team felt electric.
I don't Like you. Are you done with the shenanigans?
There were moments where cameras caught them laughing, joking, even throwing a little friendly trash talk back and forth. That kind of energy only happens when there's real comfort between two people. Riddick looked relaxed. Luka looked relaxed. And the team around them started feeding off that energy.
All right, here we go. Terrific day yesterday. We definitely got 1% better.
Riddick kept repeating one phrase during that time: stack days. The idea was simple: get 1% better every single day. Small improvements that add up into something big. And for a while, it looked like that message was working. Luka was playing at a high level. The Lakers were winning games. The partnership looked strong from the outside, but slowly, little cracks started appearing. Because JJ Redick isn't the type of coach who stays quiet when he sees a problem. He's direct, he's blunt, and he expects accountability from everyone on the roster, even his biggest star. Redick publicly challenged Luka to improve defensively, even saying at one point that if Luka didn't lower his butt and defend, he wouldn't close games. That's the kind of comment that gets attention quickly. For most players, that might just sound like coaching, but for Luka Doncic, a 5-time All-NBA superstar and the unquestioned leader of every team he had ever played on, hearing criticism like that in public hit a little differently, and it didn't stop with defense. Reports also pointed out Luka's frequent conversations with referees during games, suggesting those moments sometimes distracted the team. Questions started circulating about his conditioning. Some critics even questioned his overall commitment. For someone who had just been traded away from the only NBA home he ever knew, those criticisms landed heavy. Remember, Luka never asked to leave Dallas. That trade blindsided him. So when he arrived in Los Angeles determined to prove himself, every public critique from his own coach felt amplified. According to multiple reports, Redick even told people internally that Luka was not in championship condition yet. Statements like that sparked debates around the league. Some people called it accountability. Others wondered if it was creating distance between coach and star. Meanwhile, the Lakers' record sat at 36-24. Solid, but not dominant. They were sitting 6th in the Western Conference, and analysts kept pointing out that the team didn't quite have that championship energy yet. So when that moment happened against the Warriors, when Redick grabbed Luka's arm, when Luka brushed past him, when the words started flying, it suddenly looked like the result of everything building up over time. It wasn't just about one play. It wasn't just about one substitution. It was about every public comment, every critique, every moment Luka might have felt like the person who was supposed to support him was instead calling him out.
I mean, the Lakers could win it, but they have to get that situation straight.
And now everyone around the basketball world is asking the same question. Can this situation be fixed? Can Luka Doncic and JJ Redick find a way to move forward together? Or has the damage already gone too far? Because once the video of that sideline moment hit the internet, things exploded fast. Within hours, clips filmed by fans spread everywhere. Instagram, YouTube. Millions of views poured in almost instantly. Everyone had something to say, and the opinions couldn't have been more divided. And some people believe this was the beginning of the end for the Redick-Doncic partnership. On X, one fan posted that JJ will be gone before Luka. Another wrote that if things continued like this, the Lakers would eventually move on from the coach. One comment hit especially hard, saying Luka went from being a king in Dallas to a prince in Los Angeles. And honestly, there's a small piece of truth in that idea. In Dallas, Luka controlled everything. The offense ran through him on nearly every possession. Every big moment, every big decision, everything flowed through number 77. But in Los Angeles, the situation is different. He shares the spotlight with LeBron James. The system emphasizes ball movement, defensive structure, and team flow instead of one player dominating every possession. For a competitor with Luka's fire, that kind of adjustment is never simple. But not everyone saw the situation as a disaster. Some analysts believe the entire thing was being blown out of proportion. Former NBA player and analyst Charlie Villanueva admitted the moment didn't look great on camera, calling Luka's reaction a bad look. But he also reminded people that emotions run high during games and players sometimes react in the heat of the moment. Still, once a moment like that hits the internet, the conversation takes on a life of its own. But even Villanueva, didn't go as far as saying the relationship was beyond fixing. Instead, he suggested the moment had more to do with Luka's emotional personality than any serious hatred between the two. Then, another powerful voice stepped into the conversation. Rich Paul, the CEO of Clutch Sports and one of the most influential figures in basketball. And Rich Paul saw the situation in a completely different way. According to him, moments like that can actually be healthy. Paul explained that arguments between competitors can create a stronger environment for winning. In his words, when there's care, passion, and a strong competitive nature involved, that energy can push a team forward. From Paul's perspective, this wasn't two men who couldn't stand each other. This was two competitors who both cared deeply about winning. And sometimes when that competitive fire gets hot, emotions spill over. In the intense world of professional basketball, that kind of passion isn't always a bad thing. When it's handled the right way, it can actually make a team stronger. And here's where the story takes an interesting turn, because while social media was exploding with reactions and debate, JJ Redick did something after the game that many people overlooked. He praised Luka, not in a forced or political way either, not in a let me clean up the situation type of comment. This sounded genuine and detailed. During the post-game press conference, a reporter asked Redick about Luka's performance that night. Redick didn't hesitate at all.
Yeah, I mean, there's Coach K used to always use the word daring. You know, there's a daring to Luka's game.
He described Luka's play as daring. Think about that word for a moment. You don't call someone daring if you've lost trust in them. You don't describe a player like that if you believe the partnership is finished. That's the kind of word you use when a player's talent genuinely impresses you.
It's what makes, one of the many reasons that makes such a special player.
Redick continued explaining that Luka's creativity and confidence are part of what makes him such a unique superstar. And remember, those words came on the exact same night when emotions flared on the Lakers bench. That tells you something important about Redick's mindset. This doesn't look like a coach who has given up on his star player. It looks more like a coach who is pushing a generational talent to reach an even higher level. Redick didn't just talk about the flashy plays either. He highlighted Luka's basketball IQ, his incredible passing vision, and his ability to read defenses before they even develop. Those are the details coaches love, the parts of the game that don't always show up in highlight clips. Redick also pointed out something that matters even more inside a locker room. He said Luka's teammates enjoy playing with him.
Yeah, he's we have a lot of good guys on our team. We have a lot of, love these guys. His teammates love him.
That detail carries serious weight, because if the locker room had started turning against Luka, if teammates were questioning his attitude or commitment, that would be a real problem. Teams fall apart quickly when that happens. But according to Redick, that's not the situation here.
He's a terrific teammate. It's easy to root for his success.
He described Luka as a terrific teammate and someone easy to root for. Hearing those words from the head coach on the same night as the sideline confrontation says a lot. Despite the tension, despite the viral video, despite the frame-by-frame breakdowns all over social media, the foundation between these two hasn't collapsed, at least not yet. And NBA history actually shows that moments like this don't always destroy partnerships. Sometimes they strengthen them. Analysts have already compared the situation to past coach-player relationships like Steve Kerr and Draymond Green, or Phil Jackson and Kobe Bryant. Those partnerships had plenty of heated moments too. The league is full of stories about coaches and superstars arguing, shouting, and pushing each other to the limit. But many of those same partnerships later turned into championship teams. The key is whether both sides are willing to meet somewhere in the middle. And that's the one part nobody can predict right now. One thing is clear though, Luka Doncic isn't going anywhere anytime soon. In August 2025, he signed a 3-year contract extension worth $165 million, officially locking himself in as the centerpiece of the Lakers' future. That deal made it clear the franchise is building around him. So the real question moving forward isn't whether Luka will stay in Los Angeles. That part is already settled. The real question is whether Luka Doncic and JJ Redick can turn moments like this into something stronger, or if the pressure of the spotlight will keep pushing the situation closer to the edge. Some analysts even believe the entire situation has been completely misinterpreted. Instead of a broken relationship, they see it as two ultra-competitive personalities clashing in the heat of the moment. Just adrenaline, just passion, nothing deeper. But here's the reality the Lakers are dealing with right now. The team sits at 36-24, holding the 6th spot in the Western Conference, and the playoffs are getting closer every single day. Injuries have already limited the number of games where the full roster has been healthy. There are still questions about how the offense balances touches between Luka Doncic and LeBron James. And defensively, the team has struggled after losing Anthony Davis, with their defensive rating dropping near the bottom of the league. That means the margin for error is extremely small. And in a situation like that, tension between a head coach and the team's biggest star can become a serious issue fast. Sometimes that difference, trust or no trust, is what separates a deep playoff run from an early trip home.
Luka needs to understand his place as a player on his team, and he needs to do what the coach is asking him to do.
That's the uncomfortable truth of professional basketball. No matter how talented a player is, no matter how many points he scores, no matter how many all-NBA teams he's made, at the end of the day, there has to be real trust between the player on the court and the coach drawing up the plays. Right now, the entire basketball world is watching closely to see what happens next between Luka Doncic and JJ Redick. Can they rebuild that trust and move forward together? Or is this partnership slowly heading toward a collision neither side can avoid? One thing is guaranteed. The next time these two stand on the same sideline, every camera in the building will be pointed straight at them. Because when it comes to the Los Angeles Lakers, the drama never stays quiet for long. And this story is far from finished. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with other basketball fans who love the game as much as you do. Drop your thoughts in the comments too. Whose side are you on in this situation? And as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.